Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a bit of a talking video because I haven't done one of these in such a long time, and since I'm not working full-time anymore, I have a lot more time to do YouTube videos, and I feel like in the next few weeks maybe it would be a good chance for me to do some videos that are more daily, or maybe not daily, but like at least, you know, more than just 3 times a week. And this is kind of like a video that I've wanted to do for a little while, I think. And this is something that I hope a lot of people will be able to relate to. I am a very introverted person. If you haven't noticed already, well, not very introverted, I wouldn't say anymore, but I have been in the past. And for most people now, they'd probably say that I'm a little bit shy at times, but I am definitely a lot more out of my shell these days than what I was when I first started photography. And I think a lot of people probably can relate to being an introvert. It's sometimes very frustrating. It's very, I feel like sometimes you lead a very nerve-wracking life because there's just so much fear based around being with people, or dislike of being around a lot of people all the time. And for me, when I was starting out with photography when I was 15 years old, I was not going through a very great time in my life, and I hated school. I was having problems with friends. It was just like not a great time for me, and I think that's when I found photography at that time, and it was this really cool thing that I could get inspired by at home, and especially through DeviantArt and seeing so many younger people doing photography and getting really inspired by the photo shoots and the photos that they were producing. It was really cool, and it sort of, I don't know, it gave me something to look towards, because I didn't really know at 15 what I wanted to do. I had considered doing travel and being a travel agent, and that was kind of one avenue that I was looking at. But I'd always loved doing creative things, and I'd always loved art. I was never ever that great at painting or drawing or anything like that, which is why obviously I'm not doing that now. But photography was like that thing for me where I was like, well, I don't have to draw, I don't have to paint, it's a totally different medium. And I was just so inspired by it, and that's when I decided to do photography. At the time, I didn't really understand being so shy and so in a little shell. I didn't realize with photography how much you actually have to put yourself out there. Obviously, like I've been doing photography now since 2006, 2007. So I have been doing it a while now, and I really feel like I've come a long way since then. It's really hard to describe how shy I was at this point, at 15, 16, and even 17, 18. To the point, basically, where I couldn't go and order myself a coffee. I'd have to get my parents to do it for me. I guess that's maybe a good description of how shy I was. I couldn't even go and buy things. I couldn't go up to a cashier and buy something because I was so nervous all the time, and I was so quiet, and I didn't want to talk to people. I never wanted to talk to people, which is really crazy because now I'm doing YouTube, and I never would have thought in a million years that I would have been doing YouTube eventually. But also to describe how introverted I was at the time, it took me 4 years from starting or deciding that I wanted to do photography. It took me 4 years to actually build up the confidence to ask a model who was not one of my friends. And I did this by going through Model Mayhem at the time, and there was one night, and I was so upset. I was so upset at the fact that I'd realized it had been 4 years since I'd wanted to start photography, and I hadn't done anything that I really wanted to do. Up until that point, I'd only done self-portraits, and I'd done a lot of experimenting with Photoshop and self-portraits and that sort of thing, and maybe 1 or 2 friends doing photo shoots with them. But yeah, up until that point, I hadn't done anything that I wanted to do. I hadn't photographed a model, I hadn't photographed anyone else, and done any of the concepts that I really wanted to do, that I was really inspired by. And I just got so frustrated with myself on this one particular night, and I was crying and I was just like so angry at myself. But then after I stopped crying, I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a promise to myself that I'm not going to cry about this anymore. I'm not going to get angry at myself for being so introverted, for being so shy. I'm just going to take every step I can in the next few years, or however long it takes, to becoming a photographer, and I'm going to organize shoots, and I'm not going to cry about this anymore. And I think that was a huge turning point for me, because I remember even the next day when I spoke to my mum, I still remember this conversation, and I said to her, "Mum, I'm going to organize some photo shoots with some models." And she was like, yeah, all right, Kaylee, yep. Because like, to her, up until that point, she was basically having to do everything for me and call everyone for me and do everything for me because I was so quiet. So seeing her point of view, obviously she was probably not believing that 100%. But the following week I did organize a shoot, and I did my first shoot with a model through Model Mayhem. And then the following year I did probably roughly about 20 photo shoots. So it just sort of snowballed from there, and you know, with each shoot you get more confident, you get less nervous, feeling like, I don't know, there's so much attention on you because you're organizing this shoot. And to be honest, it was funny because I started off like professionally with photography. The first thing I started doing was assisting at weddings for a wedding photography company. And this was when I was like 16, 17, and I thought it was just absolutely terrifying for me. I really wanted to be in the background and no one sort of seeing me. I could never have done the main wedding photographer's job at that point. Like it would have been way too stressful for me. I could barely be the assistant without being so nervous all the time. And I remember this one day he even asked me, he was like, "So I need you to use your big voice, and we need a really big group shot of all of the wedding party." And I was like, I just looked at him and I froze, and I was like, I can't yell out to them. No, I can't get this whole group of people together. They're all going to be looking at me. It was like so terrifying for me that moment. But yeah, even weddings nowadays are still kind of a bit terrifying for me. I've done them. They're not really my thing, but they're still a little bit scary because there's so many people that are sort of counting on you, and you can be at times part of the center of attention, which is, yeah, definitely not really my thing. But yeah, my first few shoots that I ever did with models was just like so nerve-wracking for me. I remember like the entire shoot, my voice was probably shaking when I was speaking to the people that were on board for the shoot. My hands were probably shaking. I was just like, I was a bit of a wreck, to be honest. I don't know if many people noticed it, but I know that I felt so nervous. And it was probably, I don't know, it probably took me a good year to 2 years of doing shoots for me to feel a little bit more comfortable and for me to not stress over every photo shoot that I was doing. But the really good thing about that nervousness with all those shoots that I did was there was also the element of excitement, and it kept me going because each time I did a shoot I was kind of more hungry to improve my work and to do more with each shoot that I was doing and do something different. And that sort of got rid of the introvertedness for me on photo shoots. And I feel like these days I don't always feel like an introvert when I'm doing a photo shoot because I'm so comfortable and so in my element now. Like, it's my thing. I really enjoy it. And I guess I'm doing this video just for people out there that were like me or are like me, because I feel like some people, a lot of extroverted people, I guess, don't really understand the barriers that can be there sometimes for people that are painfully shy and for people that are so nervous about speaking to people even, or, you know, just even making themselves the center of attention for a second is like the most terrifying thing in the world. And I really hope that people watching this video can kind of relate to this. And I know there's more people like this out there. I've spoken to a few people definitely before that have had the same sort of experiences that I have. But also I want to make this video because I want to say to those people who are very much like me, don't ever let being introverted or being anxious stop you from doing what you want to do. Because if I'd never had that realization, you know, that it was keeping me from doing what I loved, then I would never have done photography. I would have gone into doing a full-time job and been at a desk probably 5 days a week, and that would have been my life. And I'm not saying that it's easy doing photography. If you're shy, it's very difficult and it's very hard at times. But I think if you just keep going with it, and each shoot is kind of like, every completion of a shoot is a win for you, really. Like when you look at it like that, it's going to make you feel a lot better for each new shoot, and your confidence improves tenfold each time. And I can never recommend just not thinking about always being shy. You know, I felt for a lot of the shoots in my early days, I felt like I was faking my personality a little bit, which is, and it's not what I'm kind of recommending for people to do, but faking it till you make it does kind of have a good ring to it in a sense, because I felt like at times that's what I was doing. And eventually you just kind of settle into that ease when you're on photo shoots and you're doing things and you have to organize things. I'm not saying that I never get nervous at shoots anymore. There are shoots where I'm like a little bit freaking scared, you know, like especially if it's a paid shoot or it's a bigger shoot. Studio still worries me a little bit from time to time, you know, like I still have not had that sort of experience that I've had with location photography over the years and outdoor photography. So that's still a little bit scary for me. Like, I think trying anything new is, but I just do want to say to those people, you know, don't ever let being introverted, don't ever let being shy come in the way of what you want to do. It doesn't mean you can't do it, and it doesn't mean you can't put yourself out there, because I feel like I did, and I think it's really done a lot for me over the years with other things as well, and just talking to people in general. Just putting yourself out there with photography is hard, but it can translate in so many other areas of your life, and then you realize that you start talking to other people outside of doing photo shoots and you just feel more comfortable, you feel more at ease because you're so used to organizing these shoots, talking to people, meeting new people, directing models. It can be terrifying, but it's 100% worth it in the end. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will be posting a few more videos over the next week or so, and please let me know what you want to see on my channel. I do have extra time now to be doing videos, which I'm really excited about. So I will be taking probably a few more requests at this stage. I'm still really busy in the lead up to my trip, which is pretty exciting, and I'm going to be doing a lot of pre-filming videos for when I go away. So if you do have requests, please let me know and I will try and get onto them as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!